Ronaldo's not returning to Old Trafford, so where next for Man United? Will Casillas be following Özil out of the Bernabeu? And could Iniesta really be leaving Barcelona? Joining me today are international football writer Peter Staunton and goal correspondent Greg Stobart. I'm Nat Coombs and this is Transfer Talk. We'll start with new business then, and Pete, Cristiano Ronaldo, a lot of speculation about him possibly heading to Old Trafford in the next year or two. That's clearly unlikely to happen now.
Any transfer rumours regarding Cristiano Ronaldo have firmly been put to bed. He signed a new 5-year contract that will take him up to sometime around his 33rd birthday. So I think it's safe to say we can expect Ronaldo to see out, if not his entire career, then certainly his peak years at Real Madrid.
What about the rumours that United were interested in Ronaldo's teammate Bale and put in a bid over the summer?
They were in for Ronaldo and for Bale. I don't think they ever realistically had a chance of signing either, but there was a lot of talk about this mystery second bidder for Gareth Bale, and it was Manchester United. I think they would have even paid more than Real Madrid did in the end, but Bale only wanted to go to Real Madrid.
Pete, United have had a difficult summer in the transfer market. Yeah, they grabbed Fellaini, they missed out on Leighton Baines. They've got their eyes on another fullback they want to potentially bring in to Old Trafford. Tell us about Luke Shaw.
Yeah, Luke Shaw, left back who plays for Southampton. We had Rio Ferdinand obviously over the weekend who tweeted his high praise for Shaw in somewhat of maybe a tapping up expedition from Old Trafford. But we do know that Shaw is very highly regarded, certainly among the elite Premier League teams. Chelsea were very strongly linked with his signature last year. And now, after missing out on Baines, it looks like David Moyes could be shopping for a left back even younger than Baines to replace Patrice Evra long term, and it could be Shaw.
Let's move back to La Liga then, Pete. The strange situation surrounding Iker Casillas in terms of the fact he's lost his starting job. A lot of suitors potentially want to prize him away from Real Madrid. Is that likely?
We thought last season, for a while after his injury, that maybe it was a grudge that Jose Mourinho was holding against him, that he preferred Diego Lopez in the goal. But this season, Carlo Ancelotti has come in and he's made no bones about it that Lopez is his number one. And Casillas, in Spain's, in their World Cup year, when they have to go to Brazil and defend that trophy, faces an entire season on the sidelines. So from a personal level, that's got to be worrying for him.
So Greg, it is a World Cup year and Casillas has had the vote of confidence from his national manager. If he's not playing often, he'll still be Spain's number one choice, but he can't rely on that, can he?
I think his saving grace is that he'll be playing in the Champions League, or so says Carlo Ancelotti at least, so he'll be playing some top-level football. And for Del Bosque, that's enough. Our correspondent in Madrid, Alberto Pinheiro, seems very confident that Casillas will stay at least until the end of the season, especially now he's got the backing of Del Bosque.
Pete, let's move on to Iniesta, rejecting a new deal at Barcelona, which would have made him the second highest paid player behind Lionel Messi. Why has he rejected this? Is he off?
I think there's a long way to go in these negotiations. Although it's a great deal financially for Iniesta, he is holding out for a little bit more money, and it has to be remembered this is probably going to be his last contract as well. So he's going to, although he loves the club, he needs to
cash in.
He needs to get the best contract he can. One thing Barcelona won't want is to confront a situation that they had with Victor Valdez, where he's intending to run his contract down and move abroad for a new experience. But personally speaking, I don't see a future for Barcelona nor for Iniesta apart. I think he's an integral part of the system and he'll remain so for the next few years at least.
Well, you say that, Greg, but in terms of the Messi factor, where players are marginalised to a significant degree at times because of the Argentinians' role within that setup, do you think Iniesta's had enough and wants to be the main man somewhere else?
I wouldn't say Iniesta's marginalised, and I wouldn't say I could see him at any other club than Barcelona. Our information from our team in Spain is that he's perfectly happy. It's just a natural process of negotiation, and eventually he will sign the new deal.
Time to move on to a new section now called Market Leaders. The team at Goal ranked the big summer signings from 1 to 20 when the window closed. You can see the top 10 now on your screen. Our job, fellas, over the coming weeks is to establish whether those transfers represent value for money. Who's been the best buy based on how much they went for and how well they're performing given the relativity of their situation. So you look at that top 10, the one player that stands out to me right now that shouldn't be there is Willian, because he hasn't done anything yet, hasn't started or played for Chelsea. Which player that isn't in that list should supplant him in the top 10, Greg?
I'd say Gareth Bale. He costs 100 million euros, but regardless of the fee, he could be the man who wins Real Madrid the Champions League and La Liga. He's done everything he can so far. He's played 60 minutes and he scored a goal on his debut. Under all that pressure, a couple of good, strong runs. He's going to be a huge player for Real Madrid over the next 6 years. And for me, he should have been in the top 10 to start with.
OK, the case for Gareth Bale going in the top 10 has been presented very well there by Greg. I'm definitely going to get rid of Willian right now out of that list. Who do you think should replace him, Pete?
I would have a look at Henrik Mkhitaryan. Now, so far in the Bundesliga, he's taken to it like a duck to water. Maybe the first 1 or 2 games he did look a little bit off the pace, maybe a little bit lagged from his lack of pre-season due to an injury. But since he's come into the team, and particularly, you know, in the last couple of weeks for Dortmund, he's looked really, really strong. He's scoring goals for fun now again, left foot, right foot. He's a guy who really knows where the goal is, and he's a player who makes Borussia Dortmund fans forget very, very readily about Mario Götze, who moved to Bayern Munich. OK, for that reason alone, I'm giving it to Pete, because I feel that Mkhitaryan so far, as you say, has acclimatised very well. Dortmund have had a terrific start to the season. His role within that start has been instrumental. So he goes into the top 10, close but no cigar, Greg. Maybe
He got
next
twice
time.
as long to put his argument
Well,
forward.
hey, he could have gone that far if he wanted to. He goes in. Willian goes out of the top 10. Looking at another player within there that I feel should be higher up than number 7 is Falcao. He's had a fantastic start to the season. I think we should bump him up. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're right, Nat. I'd bump him up. He's scoring goals for fun. He scored 4 goals in 5 games already. There was never really a question over whether he would transfer his form from Spain to the weaker French league, but he's done it fine. Monaco are looking really strong at the moment. He's banging them in. 60 million euros, yes, but he's going to be worth it for them because I think they'll win the league.
Pete, I'm looking at Falcao and I'm hearing that argument from Greg and I'm seeing him going up the charts there. How about you? Any other players you think have a better or stronger argument for moving up our table?
Well, the only one I can think of really is Carlos Tevez, and I know he's already at the sharp end, but he's given Juventus something that they've been missing for the last 2 seasons, and that's a genuine striker with international calibre. For me, Carlos Tevez fits that system perfectly. He's already been on the score sheet a few times. And I think coming towards the end of the Champions League campaign, I think we're looking at Juventus as one of the contending teams. And the difference people will see come the end of the season is that striker that they've been lacking for the last 2 seasons is there, and that's Carlos Tevez.
Again, context is everything. I'm with you on that. I think Tevez at Juve, very, very important player for them. I'm flipping him with David Villa, put Tevez up to 2, Villa down to 3, and I'm going to move Falcao above Paulinho as well, based on their comparative starts to the season. So everybody's a winner. So, fellas, there's our top 10. Of course, we'll be discussing it each and every week. Isco at the top of the tree, and logically so, a fantastic start to his season. So, gents, we're now in added time where I put some of our viewers' questions to you. Let's start with you, Greg. From Oliver, it says, El Shaarawy turned down moves to Man City and Barcelona. Did he? I'm not sure about that. Why would he end up at Tottenham then, he asked?
I don't think Tottenham have got any interest in trying to sign El Shaarawy. For that very reason, they've got no chance of signing him. He wouldn't be interested. He's playing very well for Milan, albeit a pretty poor league, but El Shaarawy to Tottenham is a non-starter.
Alan, via Facebook feature, says, what about Lewandowski joining the Wenger revolution at Arsenal?
I think the Lewandowski situation will take care of itself next summer. He's going to be at the end of his contract and he's going to move to Bayern Munich.
It's a fait accompli, isn't it?
Well, yeah, unless something drastic happens. I mean, if he decides to down tools and decides, you know, not to put the effort in, maybe Dortmund might cut their losses and sell him overseas. But the player's heart is set on a move to Bayern Munich. Dortmund are resigned to losing him for free next summer. I think we can call that one as good as done right about now.
Now, Greg, numerous users have got in touch with us via YouTube, taking umbrage with your suggestion that Man United won't make the top 4 in the Premier League this season. They've been asking you to review their performances so far.
I didn't say they wouldn't make the top 4, but I don't think it's a...
Backtracking now.
Yeah, I just don't think it's as easy as Man United fans would think. They've got, for me, the worst midfield in the top 6. Their defence is pretty ropey. They're going to be massively reliant on Robin van Persie and Wayne Rooney in attack. But you look at the squads of Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, I don't think United are any better than any of those sides.
So you think that there is a good chance they might not make the top 4?
I think it's very possible. In David Moyes' first season as manager, all the pressure that comes with it, they're going to have a wobble at some point. They've been pretty unconvincing so far. I think if they'll be 3rd or 4th, maybe just below.
If they don't make the top 4, it'll be his first and last season, won't it?
I think he's going to get at least 2 seasons. Ferguson will see to that.
Thanks, fellas. That's it for today, I'm afraid. If you want to ask a question for our panel in future episodes, don't forget to use the hashtag AskGoal. And for more on the stories you heard on today's show, head on over to Goal.